Let me introduce, first of all, Dr. Rainbow. Some of you know him, no doubt have taken some classes of his over at the college. He's a biology professor there at Antelope Valley College, holds a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and molecular biology from UC Santa Barbara, master's degree in education from Claremont Graduate School, PhD in molecular biology and biochemistry from UC Irvine. And he was a former creationist. He believed in the biblical account of creation, and through his study over a period of time came to believe that that was not consistent with the way things are, and has since become a proponent of evolution, and has certainly taught this, and I'm not sure if he's ever debated before in this kind of a forum, but certainly on more of an individual basis. But he is a friend of mine. We've gone to lunch several times, and I enjoy him as a person. Certainly don't agree with some of his views, but I respect him as a man, and have many interesting conversations over lunch. So I'd like for you to welcome Dr. Rainbow this evening. Thank you. Dr. Kent Hovind taught high school science for about 15 years, and then went on to get involved in this ministry that he's involved in now of teaching creation science, not only in places like this. He's debated many, many times, has written all kinds of material, tapes, videos, and all these things, and also got a PhD in education, and he speaks about 700 times a year in forums like this, and he'll speak anywhere, anytime. If he's there, he loves to keep busy, and we've enjoyed him here at this church this weekend, and I would like for you to welcome Dr. Hovind from Pensacola, Florida. Okay, the clock is beginning. We'll first turn it over to Dr. Rainbow, and thank you for coming.
Good evening. I'm going to begin by thanking my friend Pastor Dave Prather and the members of Central Christian for inviting me here tonight to your beautiful church. Although I am not a Christian or a regular churchgoer, I do attend church occasionally at various places in Lancaster with my sons, and I found that I enjoy coming here to Central Christian perhaps more than anywhere else on Sunday mornings. I have met many wonderful people here and have felt very welcome. It's a great honor and a pleasure for me to have been invited to address tonight's important topic, and I feel especially honored to share a podium with Dr. Kent Hovind, who is an eminent and well-known expert in the field of scientific creationism, and who I've had the great pleasure of getting to know in preparations for tonight's debate. This guy totally stole my kids' hearts, teaching them how to make paper airplanes and shoot rubber bands. I'm going to have trouble competing with him as a father figure from now on. Okay, now if we can go ahead and get my, there we go. My talk tonight is called "What Scientific Evidence Is There for Evolution?" and with a special emphasis on how to be a Christian and think properly about the theory of evolution. Okay, here's a fascinating and ironic fact about the United States of America. The United States is the most technologically and scientifically advanced nation on the planet, the envy of the rest of the world for our research and development infrastructure, as well as our university education system. Yet in the U.S., approximately half the population reject out of hand the most important scientific principle in all of biology, which is the theory of evolution. Now let's begin by asking, what's at stake in the creation-evolution controversy? Let's ask, why do evolutionists fight so hard to defend the theory? First, evolution is the central unifying principle of modern biology. Theodosius Dobzhansky, one of the three most famous evolutionists of the 20th century, and a Christian, I might add, a Russian Orthodox Christian, said nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution, and I would heartily agree with that. 2, evolution is an aesthetically beautiful theory with grand and awesome themes. Some evolutionists, including myself, believe that evolution profoundly glorifies God. Some evolutionists use the theory to support an atheistic natural philosophy and argue against the very existence of God, which they have a right to do, just as Christians have a right to argue for the existence of God. Okay, why do creationists abhor the theory of evolution? It seems to make no scientific sense whatsoever. It's a calculated attempt to destroy belief in God and to render the concept of a creator obsolete. It contradicts the book of Genesis and therefore stands in mortal opposition to Scripture. It teaches that humans are descended from animals and therefore destroys all basis for morality. And it glorifies death. Now, I've been asked to present the scientific evidence for evolution to an audience which, though personally friendly, is to a large degree intellectually hostile to the subject in a mere 40 minutes. This is a daunting task. In tonight's debate, I bear the burden of proof. I must show that there is compelling evidence for the theory of evolution. I think I do a pretty good job of that every semester in my biology classes at AV College, but there I have almost 50 hours to lay the necessary background and explain the theory. My having agreed to do it tonight in a mere 40 minutes to a conceptually hostile audience borders on lunacy. I hope you realize how difficult a task I face. I have to try to explain one of the most counterintuitive ideas ever encountered by humans.